Hello, Christina's World Kitchen. I'm Christina Martinez-Williams, and I am at my friend Angela's house, and we are making dinner, and I am making my Tuscan chicken with broccoli and palm heart noodles, though Kaidalea is going to use zucchini noodles, or we're going to cut hers in triangles. That's what she's requested. So everyone's going to have a little bit different noodle. Actually, everyone is going to have palm heart noodles except for Kaidalea. And I have about 2 to 3 pounds of chicken, and I have 3 tablespoons of butter that I'm melting with my chicken. And then this is gonna be one that is slightly higher in carbs because of one ingredient. And so if you want to take out that ingredient, or I don't think it's actually that much because it's across all the portions that this will make. But because of this one ingredient, there will be a little bit more carbs, and you can eliminate it if you would like, but it's not a ton. All right, so tell me where you're watching from. I would like to know. If you like Tuscan chicken, this is my version of it. And it is creamy and delicious and will be something that you're gonna love. They have 2 kids here, and they were 4 and almost 2, so you might hear them in the background. And we are gonna have an amazing dinner. All right, so tell me if you have kids. If you have kids but have kids, in the comments, I would love to know. Now, we're going to cook this with some spices, and then we're gonna add more spices to the rest of the food. So first we're gonna add a teaspoon of garlic to my chicken. So 1 teaspoon of garlic. To garlic powder. Now you can have 1 tablespoon of minced garlic or 6 cloves of fresh garlic. And we're also gonna add a teaspoon of pink salt right now. Teaspoon of pink salt. Here's Kaidalea. And
She was trying to act dead, but then she hit her head on the TV.
Oh, ouch. She hit her head.
Because she was trying to be like a dead cat, because she didn't want her food.
Oh. All right, so tell me where you're watching from. I would love to know. We have an amazing sale going on my Mom Magic on ketones this weekend. So if that is something that you would like info on, say the word info, and I'll make sure, or say the word sale, I'll give you information on the sale if you would like information about the sale. It has completely changed my life. Angela, who we're with, actually drinks it herself as well, and it's changed her life as a mom and as a person and so many others. So tell me sale if you want information on our sale. Now, I have these. I'm going to show you. This pot is like a wok a bit. Wanted to make sure I had enough space for everything. Here's that. So we're gonna let that start to cook. Kaidalea is gonna mix it for us. The palm hearts that we're using are from Aldi. And so what we did is I ran water through them a few times, and then I squeezed all the water out of it. So these come with liquid. It's just palm hearts and sea salt and citric acid. And so I squeezed all the water out. Kaidalea, we're gonna have her have some zucchini chunks, like triangles, or you can also shred zucchini noodles if you would rather. Tell me which noodles you would use. Are you gonna use palm heart noodles, or are you going to use zucchini noodles or zoodles? You could also use, I think this recipe is better with that, or egg white noodles. Konjac flour is more like rice noodles in my mind, and so I use it for things that make sense for that.
I can tell what's going to make my belly hurt just by smelling it. That's why I didn't want them.
Interesting. All right. Now we're going to add, not anything yet. I want the chicken to almost be cooked before I add everything else, because there's not a whole lot more that needs to be done. And then it's just a matter of like letting everything saute together for the veggies. And we'll add the noodles at the end, because these are noodles that you don't need to cook. They just need to be heated. And the same thing with the zucchini noodles. You don't need to cook, they'll get soggy fast. So I more just like flash heat them if I make zucchini noodles. For Kaidalea's little chunks, I'm also going to do the same thing. I'm just going to throw it in with her hot food and then mix it, and it'll be good. All right. we're almost there. Tell me where you're watching from. If you have tried Tuscan chicken before, put tried it in the comments. I would love to know. And then if you have never tried Tuscan chicken, put, it's like Tuscany from Tuscany, but it's really just my version. It's not authentic, I don't think, in any way. I'm not sure. Actually, Angela is Italian, so we'll see what she thinks about it. But I'm not claiming any authenticity of this Tuscan chicken. Okay. Also, I did not have any more avocado oil here, and so we are cooking with 3 tablespoons of butter, but you could also use 3 tablespoons of avocado oil. That would be a great option as well, whichever one. Which one would you prefer? Put avocado in the comments or put butter in the comments. Which one would you use? Tell me in the comments. And what are you eating tonight that is high protein, low carb? What is your protein? What is your veggie, green or above ground veggies for your fiber? And what is your healthy fat? All right, I want to give it like a few, like half a minute more, and then we're going to add our other ingredients and just let them all cook. Add a little bit more spices, and then we'll be ready for it to just simmer. I'm going to turn it down slightly. Okay, we're almost there. Let me see which we're going to add next. We are going to add our broccoli next. So I have 2 bags of broccoli. This is equivalent to 24 ounces of broccoli. It is frozen broccoli, but you can use broccoli florets. So like 3 cups of broccoli florets. These are frozen broccoli florets. So I'm gonna mix this with my chicken. One of these is huge. Actually, a few of these broccoli florets are huge. So it's gonna be a little bit saucy because this is like frozen broccoli florets. Okay. Now I'm gonna turn my heat back up a little bit so that can be cooking. And then I'm going to add the rest of my liquid, and then my spices, and one other ingredient, which is the one that can cause a little bit more carbs, which you can eliminate this, but it's kind of the part of the Tuscan chicken part, which is a half a cup of chopped sun-dried tomatoes. So sun-dried tomatoes have a little bit more carbs in general, but they're still low carb. But then when they're dried, they get a little bit more. But we're having half a cup of sun-dried tomatoes. And these are gonna make it so delicious all throughout. So I wanna mix those in. Then I'm actually gonna go ahead now and add my cup of spinach. This one is no, it's spinach. Okay. Cup of spinach. Add that in here. Mix that. And then we're going to add our liquid and our spices, and then our noodles at the very end. Not at the very, very end. With the palm heart noodles, you can add them whenever. They're not going to get more soggy than they already are. Geneva, hello. They're not going to get more soggy than they already are, so there's no harm in adding them first. If you are using zucchini noodles instead of palm heart noodles, then I do recommend adding them at the very end, like the last 2 or 3 minutes, because they will get soggy and you don't want them to be soggy. At least I don't. If you like them soggy, then you can do that. Now we're going to add a cup of heavy whipping cream. I forgot that I put it in the fridge. A cup of heavy whipping cream. I'm a little shy of that, but a cup of heavy whipping cream is my recipe. So a cup of heavy whipping cream. And then a half a cup of Parmesan cheese, shredded Parmesan cheese. You can shred your own or use already shredded, half a cup. Okay, and then you want this to melt and to make this creamy, gooey sauce. Maybe not gooey sauce, but creamy sauce. Let me see if I can get it. Thought it would stick less in this than in the half a cup of the sun-dried tomatoes. So I'm gonna mix that, and then it'll also let it start to melt. I want it to be kind of evenly distributed. Ooh, this is looking good. I have to show you. It's so pretty. So pretty. All right. The last thing is are the spices, and then the very last is going to be the noodles. So we're going to add a teaspoon of basil. If you have fresh basil, then you could also use the equivalent of that. I don't actually have that on hand at home. I have a conversion chart that I created, but I don't know what that is if you have fresh. Fresh is always better. And then a teaspoon of oregano. And then the last thing is another teaspoon of pink salt, and then to taste after that. And you can always add, if you would like, oh, I'm even out of this, oh my gosh. You can always add cayenne pepper. I always add cayenne pepper to almost everything. So tell me if you would add cayenne, put the word spicy or cayenne in the comments if you would add cayenne pepper to yours. It's starting to get melty. I'm using broccoli especially because palm hearts are good fiber, but they also they're not the same like nutrients that you can get from broccoli. All right, now we're gonna add 2 packages of palm heart noodles. These, you do wanna make sure that you kind of get them separated a little bit because they stay clumped unless you separate them. But I also squeeze them out so they're extra compacted right now. But I'm gonna move them around. And then I'm going to mix them in. So I'm kind of folding them to get them mixed in well. And then I'm just gonna let everything cook until the broccoli is cooked and soft, and until my chicken, well, my chicken I wanted to make sure was almost all the way cooked anyways. So that should be done. Okay, now for Cataleya's, she'll have this zucchini. I actually forgot to pull out some for her. Oops. She said that the palm hearts make her stomach hurt. These might be kind of hard to separate, but we'll see. All right, there we go. That is it. Now we're just gonna let it saute and be done. It's so pretty and noodly. Oh yeah, that's tasty. And now I'm just gonna let it saute for probably another 10-15 minutes. And then it's done, it's ready. There's a lot of liquid right now, but that'll start to like boil out. You can't see, I'm sorry. Let me show you. If this looks like something that you would like to try, give me thumbs up, hearts, share this video so that more people see that they can have an amazing, delicious meal that is high protein, low carb. Another one-pot meal ready to go. And with all the nutrients, fiber, protein, healthy fat that you need to have an amazing meal. So have a wonderful night. From my house to your kitchen, well, it's not my house, Angela's house, to your kitchen, global flavors and healthy plates from around the world.